we have to talk about the 49ers now. They're 3-4. And I can sit here and tell you like, oh, this game was fluky and that game was fluky. And they passed the eye test or whatever. At some point, you're 3-4. This is kind of who you are. And it's really not been that easy sailing for the 49ers. And, Kyle Shanahan comes out after the game and says that the team fears that Aiyuk tore his ACL, which should obviously be a massive blow, even if he hasn't been playing well this year. Deebo Samuel leaves after a few snaps due to illness. He tried to play, couldn't, I guess. Christian McCaffrey obviously hasn't played all season. He's Christian McCaffrey. He's awesome. But we still, when a guy misses half a season, you don't just expect him to rush for $150 his first game back either. Like, just so many things are piling up on the 49ers right now. Where's your concern level at with this team? Like, is this a team where you're like, yeah, they're 3-4, but they're still going to win the NFC West. They're still going to be a team nobody wants to see in the playoffs? Or are you to the point of like, look, there's something seriously kind of spiraling away from the 49ers in this season they thought they were going to have?
My concern level is at a 10 for San Francisco at this point. And look, you got to be lucky and you got to be healthy. We all know that. The number of games lost to starters is a stat that they track every year. And you find usually the teams that go on a deep playoff run are at the most favorable end of that. San Francisco has no shot at being at the favorable end of that. On top of the fact that the expectation is what it is. Like, you think about what San Francisco is being judged by, just getting to the playoffs will be seen as a disaster for this team. Like, they are supposed to be in their Super Bowl window, and there's pressure to get it done right now with as much talent as they have. So on top of all of that, yes, their division doesn't really have a juggernaut that's separated, but the NFC looks really good. So if you're banking on, hey, we can spend plenty of time getting healthy and we'll sneak in with the wild card, I don't know. Even if we presume the NFC North is going to beat up on each other, I don't know, man. There's a lot of really good teams right now in the NFC that are head and shoulders above where San Francisco is, and they got to make up ground. So I feel like if they lose any traction in the NFC West, it's going to be difficult. Trying to make the playoffs as a wild card is going to be difficult. Trying to get healthy is going to be absolutely impossible this year. Trying to maximize what they have on the field with the health they have doesn't feel like what we expected. Like, I'm beyond concerned for the 49ers. I'm wondering when we finally just stick a fork in them and say they're done.
Yeah, I'm not there yet with them. I see this team and there's just so much talent. And when they're right, when they played Seattle first 3 quarters against Seattle, they looked really good. They looked like, okay, this team will win a Super Bowl. Well, then they come back and play like this against the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are great. We know that. But the 49ers are supposed to be great too. And they just haven't shown that much this year. And a lot of that is the injuries. And yes, maybe they will get McCaffrey back. And Deebo Samuel's not going to miss every game due to an illness or anything. So they'll get healthier. They'll get better. But at some point, you already have 4 losses. Your chances of getting that number 1 seed in the NFC, unless you run the table somehow, which I don't think they're going to do, is pretty much gone already. And now you're looking at, okay, we're going to have to go to a Detroit in the divisional round, or we might have to go and face Tampa Bay even, like, who's really not a bad team right now. They've already won at Detroit. So my concern level is not 10, I wouldn't say, but it's, you're digging yourself a hole. It might be 7 or 8 at this point where you just like, you just might not be the team we thought you were going to be. And again, this Aiyuk injury, if it is as bad as they fear and he's done for the season, well, that sets him way back. And it just seems like one of those bad luck seasons where everything's going wrong for them.
But that's why my concern is at a 10, is so much of it is bad luck. Like, I believe strongly in the football gods. And the football gods sit around a big conference room every Sunday morning in football god heaven, and they just look around and they say, what can we do? They will absolutely create chaos. Now, sometimes the football gods shine the light on you, and sometimes they don't. I don't know what my beloved Raiders did to the football gods roughly 40 years ago, but I'd like to apologize on behalf of the entire team. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what the Jags did to the football gods, but, there are plenty of teams that can turn around. I know what the Patriots did. The football gods got tired of them not being thankful enough. So they were like, we're done. I believe that this year the football gods decide, like, it's like they decided to put salt in the shaker instead of, or sugar in the shaker instead of salt. Like, they're just sitting there, they're like, I'm going to just pour a little of that on San Francisco. I think the football gods are against the 49ers this year. And there's nothing you can do about the football gods. Like, they are undefeated.
It might be because this is just, it's getting out of control for them really quickly. And again, there's only one thing for the 49ers to do this year. Even going to a Super Bowl losing would be like, again, like, there's only one place for the 49ers to go. And right now that they're not that team.